So most of these tyres are actually set on soft tyres, which is surprising. That would indicate that we're actually doing rather well. Huh. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Motorsport Manager with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our home screen then. We are just coming off the second race of the second season and, well, things are not looking quite as bad as they were looking before. For a start, we actually fulfilled our goal of at least being 8th on the grid in terms of team position, despite Gomez actually crashing his car, which I am very happy about. Of course, we did unfortunately not manage to increase our chairman's happiness, but at least we're somewhat stable for the time being. And we, for the first time in like probably 10 races or something, nearly managed to hit our sponsorship objective. Now, our sponsorship objective, you have to know, has actually risen in terms of the place that we now need to achieve due to our sponsors becoming more high profile. It's like the 10th spot at this time or something, so, you know, a little more optimistic than usual, and well, we nearly made it there. Now, the question still remains if that was mostly due to our cars being more reliable than the competition, or if our cars are actually now somewhat able to actually compete in the sport. And that's going to be an interesting question. I think it's going to be something that we will find out even more about in the next few races, but I'm starting to get slightly more optimistic, so let's see how that one will develop. Now, other than that, we're back in the management screen. The next race is already in 17 days, which is honestly quite fast. We're apparently expecting a rain during the race, and we mostly need top speed and deceleration. Our brakes, we haven't really done much of any developments yet, but we do have some advancements going for us in terms of the engine thus far. Not all the way to the max, because of course if we look at the headquarters, we are currently constructing the test track, which is going to take another 18 weeks, and after that we're going to be able to push the engines even further, and I don't think we've even got a second engine going yet. So you can see right here that we do have this very new engine now ready to go, which I kind of quickly want to double check that that's the first stage of engine. If we can quickly look here, you can see that we are here. Yes, so this is our new engine, 87 performance currently, 40% reliability on that one, which of course we do need to very much develop once our team is done taking care of repairing the cars from the last race. We do have a better gearbox too, which is a 20% reliability, so we won't be able to get that ready for the race. Most certainly that's something that will be happening in the future. And, well, we will, I think, also now go and then design another engine, which will get to that blue status, which, well, we will also initially, of course, use in Hong's car, but eventually we will be looking to put that into Gomez's car when we get the engine with like 3 rarity levels whenever our test track's actually done. So going through this then, we don't want the risk level. I think we've talked about that a lot at this point. We do want max top speed increase though. This not quite as interesting as that one, not quite as interesting as that one, to be honest. Plus 5 days, but 40 to the max, which means a lot more development time even after the fact spent on this engine, but it still feels like the better one. And look at this. Oh, that's risk level +1. That sucks. Top speed +50 on wet tires and inters. Performance gain ×2. Top speed +25. What does performance gain ×2 mean? That sounds very interesting, to be honest. If anyone can elaborate that one for me, please let me know. I think this is the option that you'll eventually pick, because, you know, wets and tires and inters is kind of like a... I mean, it's not really a dependable option, you know. It's only going to benefit us in rain races, which don't happen all the time, so I would rather have something that's consistent for us. But for the time being, this is going to be the engine that we're going to develop. Even this one is not going to be done in time for the race. That already answers the question if we're going to make it for the race, because of course after that we even need to get the reliability up and the performance and everything. So yeah, we're going to do that regardless. We're going to get that ready. Afterwards, I suppose... Oh, no, top speed is going to be useful for Tendela too, and acceleration is going to be useful as well. So, well, we're literally just going to focus on getting the engine ready first, and probably just push the performance. I mean, I'm considering to get the gearbox ready too for the race, but we'll see. I mean, 17 days is not a lot of time, and I feel like this is the better choice. Do we want an interview with the Evening Herald? I think we're going to accept it for one, see if we get a chance to improve our chairman happiness. Quick pit stop resulted in a mistake. Your very own chairman criticized the move. Let's say that. Perfect. That's some free 5% relationship. Nice. That was a good choice to accept that. 83% again, you know. Gotta push that a bit more, because of course we picked the more challenging goal this season. Thus far it's only been going so-so, so we gotta make sure to make him happy in other ways as well. Pit crew hiring, we've got 5 options apparently if we really want to. What happened to my pit crew? Why is there only 3 people, and did we lose a few in terms of like contracts running out? So, and what happened here? Contract remaining. Oh, wait, so the game does not tell me to renew my contracts on people that are working in my pit crew. That is absolutely terrible. Oh boy. That is actually quite the big issue. I had no clue that I had to manually check this every now and again and renew contracts. I have one that is expiring in like 1 race here, but he's honestly quite trash, so we're not going to go for renewing that one. But one way or another, I mean, we got to kind of take care of that, so let's see what is on the market, I suppose. That one being absolutely magnificent in terms of literally all his stats. We're going to grab that one, despite it of course costing a bit of money. You know, our pit crew has in the past been very strong, and why not make it even stronger? The cost is not the greatest, and it can always save us a few seconds. This one I see is a bit of an issue, because I think we do have decent jack people, and he's not really good at tires, so he is really only good for the jack. This one though, tires 13, fixing 10. I think that's a good combination, so we're going to grab that one too. And then that way we've kind of amped up our pit stop crew a bit more. Now, this dude right here, technically he's a bit better at fixing, which... Why do I have this person there? That doesn't make any sense. So let's swap this one with that person, because this person here is more of a jack person, to be honest. He is fully relaxed, while this guy's missing a bit of stamina. So we're going to just swap them through, you know, let the other guy regen a bit. Then we've got this one here. I think we're going to swap this guy through with that one. The other guy can also relax, and we've got faster tire changes, slightly slower fixing, but hopefully we're going to be more reliant on the tire changes anyways. And then we've only got this person here remaining with like the utterly bad stats in terms of absolutely everything, tires and refueling. I mean, we do have this guy, but he's like way better at the fixing part of things. Actually, speaking of which, I think this is actually the better move for the time being till the other dudes get fatigued. I really want somebody that can do tires and refueling good, but I don't have anyone that could really... No, I don't think that's a good option. This guy also needs to chill. I'm going to leave it at that, but I mean, this is honestly like a very big drawback, that guy, so hopefully we will soon get somebody to replace him with. That said, we don't have any options for the time being, so we'll leave it at that. We also had a race bonus sponsor slot open up, which is an interesting one. Is that the... No, that's not the lowest difficulty one. That will actually open up soon as well. But we can actually pick up on that one. We'll probably just have whatever is the highest initial offer. Because, well, race bonus, we don't really... like, this is one of the harder options. So we cannot really, you know, reliably hit that anyway. So I'm just going to pick as much upfront money as I can. But anyways... we're going to get things sped up until car repair is complete. We do have 3 offers already, which is, theoretically, absolutely insane. Upfront payment, 200k, bonus... That's actually really not what I wanted, to be honest. I just want somebody with a high upfront payment, but of course the game just gives me people with bonus payments. Now the thing is, the offers expire in 2 races, so up until that point, I will not get any more offers anyways. And given that this offer is like valid for 6 races, I'm just going to take the upfront payment of 200k potentially. I don't know, I would really like a different offer, not going to lie. But the question is, do we get better offers in 2 races? It's a hard choice. I mean, not having a sponsor for that slot at all, or being locked to that one for an additional 4 races in which we cannot get a higher upfront. I think we're just going to have to accept it. I'd rather have a bit of money now than just, like, gamble it out, I think. It's not ideal. It's honestly not ideal. I would have loved something like this here, you know, upfront payment, 1 mil. That's kind of nice, but meh. It is what it is, I guess. In terms of mail, the car repair has finished, so let's look then at developing parts. We are heavily relying on actually getting the engine where it needs to be. I think that literally needs to be the focus. We also kind of really need deceleration, so maybe got to slightly increase the reliability on that thing too. But for the time being, this has to be the only focus. Let's get that to like 75 or 80-ish% for the time being. That's 66. That is a scouting finished. We can get somebody else in there real quick. I am sure of that. That is actually the wrong way to do things. We will find the people that are not in any racing series. Just randomly pick people. We're not too much caring about that for the time being anyways, I suppose. And then we just bring that screen up again. We've got a random World Motorsport event in the middle of this. That is going on, and we will continue because we do not care for the results too much, of course. And let me get back into the screen. That is 71%. I mean, we were thus far driving with like 74% reliability max, and we didn't have the biggest issues in the world. I think if we go for that and then focus on performance increase and brake reliability increase, that is the thing to go for. We're even at 78%, so that's cool. We will also go and fit that to the car of Hong, of course. And then I think we have to really quickly improve the reliability of the brakes for at least like 1 day. Okay, how much does that get me? That's 70 and 74. I think that's fine. We're going to have to live with that. And then we will push all of the power out of that engine that we can, which is actually going to be done 3 days before the race. So I don't really want to spend too much of an effort on increasing the performance in these brakes, which we're going to swap through eventually anyway. So maybe afterwards we'll just focus our efforts on the gearbox, despite that not making it into the car for this race. It feels like the right option to go for, to be honest. I mean, everything else is at usable reliability rates for the time being, and I just really want to get the better parts that we will utilize for most of the season ready and going for the drivers, instead of focusing on improving these like original parts that are not going to stay around for too much longer anyways. In terms of mail, we have got an upcoming meeting, which is fine. We'll also use that open that open scouting slot, thank you very much. And well, that way that is all set and ready to go. We will then go and check this part improvement stuff out, and of course try and not waste too much of any time. Performance work done. We do have a marker right there. Forecasting center, I don't care. We do have the preview roundup right here. Nothing about the weather. Not sure where I'm getting that one. I know, forecasting center would all help, but also would cost me a lot of money that I would rather right now push into the car, so we will stick to that strategy for now. Improving parts, 94 out of 100. Performance work done. Cool, so that is the engine maxed out then. We could have actually already put some parts into there to not waste any time, but did not remember to do that at all. We will then do the gearbox. We'll push that to about like 80-ish% as we did the other one. Or we could max out the reliability of the engine, but I think honestly, I think it's I mean, it's a gamble, you know, not maxing out the reliability of that and already preparing for the next race. It is a bit of a gamble, isn't it? We could also just max out the reliability of that. I think it's fine where it's at. We'll just hope that that works out for us. We'll get the gearbox ready for the next race, which is going to be most certainly a big advantage, given that the acceleration on Tondela is going to be crucial. I want to have that ready to use, and well then, hopefully that gamble is going to work out for us. We'll have to see about that. You can still see we're so far back on about everything, but we're starting to catch up slowly but surely. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going for the time being. Factory staff is not idle anymore, unless I absolutely messed something up there. Nope, it is not, and there is the vote. It is about addition of Phoenix Track GP. Okay, I think we do not really care too much, because it's just another track. I'd rather just save the vote for something more important for us. So let's skip to end. Let's see what ends up happening, and if we do get the new track, and it appears that we don't. So, well, we will stay at the current race calendar, I suppose. Cool, good stuff. We're gonna move on, and we are going to go to the travel to Milan. Let's check out that we have all the parts properly fitted before we go, just in case I messed anything up out here. We do have the better engine on Hong's car. We could actually get the second best engine onto Gomez's car now that we've got that one opened up, so that's certainly a good spot right there. Then, well, I mean, this gearbox we cannot use yet, but also, well, I can't really give Gomez that gearbox because it's at 55% reliability, so I'm going to rather keep him at the 66% one, which also honestly isn't too great, but he should be getting this one before the next race, as we're already working on the blue one. And, well, that down there is looking good too, which is absolutely beautiful. So let's go and head on then. We are, of course, going to choose this 10th or above sponsorship objective again, because that's all we can really hope for, I think. 12th, 2 times in a row, actually, which is very interesting. I think in Black Sea we came way closer to the sponsorship objective than in Munich, though, just saying. But yeah, so parts are all fit. That is fine. We're going to go to race, and let's see how the training is going to be doing for us, I suppose. As usual, I do not really think that's really going to be very representative for us. The interesting part is that we're expecting rain for the race this time around, but sun for the training. So we're not going to be able to really get the experience on the tires that we would require. And I'm thinking that may in the end mean that we do for the that we go for the faster pit stops and the race trim as a combination, and hopefully that's going to work the way that we want then. But yeah, I mean, the drivers I think are all going to be very obvious. Can I? No, I cannot shift these things around, can I? Huh. Interesting. Well, yeah, anyway, so, I'm really still not sure how to switch the cars, but that is the way it is. I just hope there's not going to be any drawback right there. We are going for lower downforce, I think, because that feels like the right thing to do on this sort of track. We will go for, I think, more of an understeery balance, so a bit of a harder suspension, and then we will go for some more top speed through longer gear ratios. Soft tires, of course, for the time being. I think that's got to be the strategy one way or another, just gather as much info on the soft tires as we can, because if rain's going to come in during the race, the way that the rain tires last for such a long time will probably help us out anyways. Now, the speed balance here actually being kind of an interesting sweet spot for Hong, because he's on a totally different end of the spectrum in terms of what he wants in terms of speed balance. So it's got to be somewhere in the middle here, and maybe we actually did the suspension with a bit too much top speed focus on Gomez's part, but I'm sure we're going to find out about that soon. For the tyre choice, same thing, as I said, soft tyres. Let's go and continue like that, take the practice as we usually do, and then we will hopefully find out just how this is going to go for us. We're going to quickly go and zoom through all these, because that's of course already set up. They're going to go out, we're going to max the strategies out for them, and well, then let's see how we are going to do in this practice. I'm really interested. Half the field once more out on mediums, which, well, is going to be an issue for us in terms of being able to determine how good or bad we are in comparison to the rest of the field. But, oh, I mean, we should at least get some sort of clue. I really still don't think that we're going to be doing absolutely great, especially given that we don't have the second level of that engine ready, and, well, I mean, certainly not the third level. That's going to take us even longer, so we're going to have to really, really see about that. In terms of what we want to do, I think we're going to get them in right now, and then we're going to go for the actual timed laps on the second stint, just when the track grip has actually increased a bit more, you know. So that's the plan right there. Let's, for the time being, just see what they think about this stuff, and then we can make some adjustments for a start. So downforce good, speed balance good. So yeah, indeed, speed balance is a bit too long, I think, for Gomez. Downforce, I'm absolutely not sure what we're supposed to do. Like, I think we're gonna, for the time being, lower it by ½ a degree on both, and see if that makes him happier or unhappier. Speed balance, then we can lower that to this-ish level, or maybe that-ish level. I'm not quite sure. I think we're going to do that. That should be about good. Handling is excellent, so we're not going to change anything about that. New soft tires for him, send him out. Hong, downforce, okay. Okay. Potentially we go in the wrong direction. I'm not sure. Is the issue. The issue is I'm absolutely not sure. Like, we could do this and make him happier, or we could make him unhappier doing this, or more unhappy. That's even a possibility. Can't really become... You know what I mean. Anyways, we're going to try it out like this. We're going to see if that works. If it doesn't, you know, we've got another stint to actually give things a try. They can both get sent out in just a minute again. And then we will, of course, once more max their strategies and see how they go. Weather still supposedly staying dry out, so that is absolutely marvelous. We're going to just quickly, as we unlock a setup level, quickly skip their outlap because we're not too interested in that one anyways, as I said. And, well, there's going to be the lap. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Will they say anything? I don't think it's... okay. So, we will go the other way then, with the downforce, except that I think everything should be fine, and then we will actually go for the timed laps, because, you know, grip levels constantly increasing, so you may as well put that to good use. Gear ratio, on Hong's part, absolutely marvelous. He is still very happy about that all, which is awesome to see. He was just as happy on that part, though, so we are going to roll that back, especially in terms of neutralizing the tire camber again. And then we will go, and I think, should we increase it by like this much and see what that does for him? I think that sounds about right. We're going to fix the speed balance again, and well, now honestly we can just do, I'm going to do 2 laps just because I really want to see how fast we can go with minimum fuel, basically. So we're going to do that. We're going to send them out like that. And then let's see what Gomez's adjustment is going to be. Speed balance, we definitely went the right way for him, I think. Optimum balance, -2%. Okay. So, we're going to go back to that setup, of course, for the time being, because he wants more downforce, which should be like ½ a degree. Should make him pretty happy, I think. And then we're going to attempt to slightly fix that speed balance and everything too. Actually, more like that, right? No, that's great. That's good. I think this should be excellent. Question being, is excellent better than great? I think it is, right? I think it is. I think it's supposed to be. I'm actually not quite even sure. We're going to try it like that. I feel like that is spot on the speed balance that he wants to go for. Alternatively, worst case, we can always just change it quickly before the race. Let's have them make those changes real quick, though. Let's send them out on their max strategies. Boop, boop, and boop, boop. and then they are going to have, of course, their outlaps for the time being, and we're going to finally learn, after unlocking all that race trim, what our true pace is and how we are going in comparison to our competitors. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. Very much so. Let's see how the times are going. Plus 0.2 seconds for a start. Aero setup going the right way, which is great news. Half a second behind already in terms of time, though. Well, compared to the first person on the grid. 6th spot. I don't really know what to think about that, you know, because I don't know which tires they've set those times on. It feels as though we're rather weak in comparison to the rest of the field because everybody's on mediums right now, but I think initially we really had more people go out on softs, so I'm not 100% sure. And we're really only 6/10ths off in terms, which is like ages in terms of racing speeds, don't get me wrong. They just come in. Let's send them out again, I guess, you know. Whoopsies. I didn't change the tires, but yeah, they were both out of fuel, so we're going to send them out again just with more fuel, I suppose, and the same tires, and, you know, just gather... I don't know, we don't even have any more knowledge to gain, so we're just going to have them out, which is interesting. But yeah, so I think we at least got everything done in terms of setup that we wanted to get done. I'm really not quite sure in terms of where we sit on this grid. Maybe we can quickly read through it on the results table and see what tires people actually set their times on, but I'm not too sure about that. Like, let's see. Okay. So most of these tires are actually set on soft tires, which is surprising. That would indicate that we're actually doing rather well. Huh. Okay, well, we'll have to see what kind of performances does translate in the actual race. This would be actually quite crazy given where we were just a few races ago. But I don't know, like, I'm not too optimistic. Usually I think what the past has shown is that we cannot really rely on the results we get in training, because somehow the AI just gets even faster in the actual races then. But we'll see. Let's stay slightly optimistic for the time being, and then we are going to see how we're going to do in the race in the next episode. For today, I'm going to end this off right here. I hope you're all looking forward to race day in the next episode of Motorsport Manager then, and I hope you enjoyed this one, of course. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. As usual, that does help out the channel an absolute ton. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider hitting that subscribe button right down below, as well as the bell icon right next to it, in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.